What's up, y'all? It's your girl, J. Renee with Prison Ride Radio. I hope that you're doing well. This afternoon, we got a brother on the phone by the name of Sabor Shabazz Shakur, and we're going to talk to him about his case. He got some things going on, and we need to shine some light on it. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. All right, good afternoon, bro. Thanks for pulling up on us.
Thank you. Good afternoon to you, too.
For sure. All right, tell the people a little bit about yourself and where you from.
Yes, ma'am. Well, at the present time, I'm 50 years old. I'm throughout the Baltimore area. I lived a little bit everywhere from east to west Baltimore. Come from a working class family. Have one sibling. Have one child. Presently, I've been incarcerated for going on 23 years and counting.
Okay, so let's jump into that. Incarceration. So you've been down for 21 years. That's a long time. I know that you want to bring some exposure to your case. So, give people a brief rundown first of what happened, and then we'll get deeper into it.
Yes, ma'am. Well, the whole synopsis of the case is that I had a young cousin that was assaulted by an older guy. And right after he was assaulted, the guy was murdered, and in the police and the investigation, they basically came across my little cousin girlfriend at the time, who him and her had just got into a domestic violence situation, and throughout that situation, the domestic violence situation, she claimed to know information about a murder. So since she claimed to know information about murder, she went down there and told the police a bunch of basically unconfirmed, unsubstantiated allegations that they just took as face value, and used that to get a arrest warrant for me and my little cousin, which is my co-defendant. Down the line, they come down the line, they found out through their investigation that the person who they based the whole case on had a long history of mental illness, and so they got to scrambling to see how they can make the facts or the things that she said stick to us, so that they can gain a conviction, which they did eventually after sitting over city jail for close to 2 years and things of that nature, and numerous postponements and all the legal things of that nature.
All right, I can understand. Wrongful convictions and things like that are more prevalent than people understand. You know what I mean? And I hate to hear that this happened to you. What happened when it came to your legal representation? How could how could something like this come to pass? Like, what was going on with that situation?
Well, lots of times, especially guys who come from the streets and things of that nature, we believe if we have private counsel, paid counsel, that counsel is going to be our advocate and work on our best behalf. A lot of times it's not like that, because really the judicial system is basically another extension of the political arena. So what happened is this: it's like, okay, I'm a prosecutor, I'm a defense attorney, we got a close relationship, we've been working with one another for a long time, so I'm going to give you certain courtesies and things of that nature, which is against the interests of my client, but at the same time, since we have a long relationship, I'm going to extend you these courtesies so that you won't look too bad while pursuing this case. And you got to also understand that the time that I was locked up, which was the early 2000s, this was a Martin O'Malley era of no tolerance, when everyone was getting locked up for open bid containers, loitering, and things of that nature. And people, anybody who can recall, can remember that at times, you would have long lines of people locked up for small offenses waiting to get side central booking. And they would take days, maybe weeks at times, before they would get processed and even they had the ability to get a bail to get out. Which eventually, if I'm correct, the public defender's office had put in some type of, either them and or ACLU had put in some type of lawsuit, which basically stopped that, put it in or ceased that particular practice.
Okay, I understand.
So that's during the time that I got locked up, and This also was a time when Martin O'Malley and his administration was trying to say that they was being tough on crime to make themselves seem more effective. So they put a lot of pressure on police as well as the district attorney office as well.
Right. Okay. So you have a documentary that's out. It's called The Shakur Story: Aftermath of a Broken Window Policy. I'm gonna make sure that I share the link with that. I know that gives it gives more insight on everything. But I want to ask you this, because this question came to me. I'm sure it will to those that are listening. What exactly does it mean when you say the broken window policy?
Well, that's what the zero policy was. It extended from what they call the broken window policy that Martin O'Malley and them had adopted from Giuliani. I believe it's Giuliani, but definitely a policy they adopted from New York, which was then implemented in New York in the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the whole thing about the broken window policy is this. It is predicated upon saying that if you prosecute small crimes like, say, a broken window for vandalizing things of that nature, that would stop greater crimes such as robbery, murder, assault,
right.
carjacking, and things of that nature. It's figured that if we stop the small things, that'll nip in the bud at the big things, right?
Right.
But we've seen what we have seen, and what's been documented, sourcely documented from that period, is that poor people and people of color was disproportionately affected by these policies because they were the main ones who were targeted, and their neighbors were the neighbors that were being targeted by this particular policy, right? Which stigmatized and also disrupted many men and women and children throughout the course of that day, and basically created like what I would say like a Gestapo type atmosphere within our particular community.
I got you. Thank you for that clarity, brother. We are familiar with the tactics that aren't. I suggest that you look that up. It's called the broken window policy, so you can learn a little bit more about it. So, brother, let's get back into you individually. So, where do we go from now? Where do we go from here? Excuse me. Like, what's the next move? What is it that you're trying to do now when it comes to getting your freedom?
Can you repeat that, please?
Yes, I said, what's the next move now? Like, what is it going to take to, help you obtain your freedom from this conviction you should have never had?
Well, I believe this is my whole idea of belief. I believe that more eyes are on my particular case, which would put the judicial system under the magnifying glass. It would tend to help them or push them to be more equitable and when they're dealing with guys like me. Because right now, as long as they're able to do the things they're able to do in obscurity, they basically do whatever they want. Because there's no public pressure, there's no pressure for them to be who they say they are. Right?
Yeah.
You're talking about equal justice under the law, right? And it's certain guidelines you're supposed to follow. And according to the guidelines, if you follow these guidelines, right, then that's what we call fair justice. But what I have seen, and a lot of other guys will probably testify who've been in my particular situation, is that they have set certain laws, policies, and so forth and so forth, but they won't enforce it.
Right.
Right? Like in my particular case, I had evidence that was taken out by the police and never brought back.
Outrageous.
Now, how is that even possible? Because it's a thing called exculpatory evidence. Exculpatory evidence means it's evidence intended to show that you are not guilty of the offense you've been convicted of. Right?
Right.
Or convicted of have been charged with. Right? So the only way they're gonna know if this particular evidence is either incriminating or exculpatory, you had to have access to this particular evidence or statement. But right after I pick my jury, or right before I'm ready to start my jury trial, the detective in the case goes to the evidence control room or evidence control unit, get these statements, 4 statements, take them out, and never bring them back.
Miscarriage of justice. Yeah.
So, what are these statements? Well, what are these statements? These statements tend to show that I was not guilty of this offense. What are these statements saying? What are the nature of these statements? And why were they not turned over to me? Why I didn't have access to them?
Right.
And why were they never returned?
Yeah, it's definitely some corruption in the mix right there, bro. Let me ask you, do you have any type of petitions or anything online that people can support?
Yes, ma'am. Well, particularly the main thing I have been promoting and pushing is my documentary that came earlier this year that I put on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's called The Shakur Story, The Aftermath of a Broken Will and Policy, right? It details my whole case, right? And also, I have documents to substantiate everything I'm saying, so everything I'm saying is not a bald allegation or something that I'm just making up just because I want to make it up. I had documentation to prove everything that I'm saying.
Right.
So what I do next to how when I'm narrating, I got the papers to back up and substantiate everything that I'm saying. Right. So we had contradicting statements. We had contradicting ideas. We had correspondence from the district attorney office. We had statements or letters from the evidence control unit. We got copies of the policy that's supposed to govern how evidence is supposed to be contained and things in store and things of that nature.
Right.
So it's pretty detailed about everything dealing with my case. And I haven't had a wide viewing of my documentary, but those who have viewed my documentary, I have got very positive feedback about what they thought of my documentary in my particular case.
Well, I'm gonna definitely I'm gonna make sure that I include the link so people can put their eyes on it. I'm gonna make it convenient for them. I know we ain't got too much more time, but I do want to ask you, brother, how can people reach out to you if they want to connect with you or if they have some assistance?
Yes, ma'am. Well, right now, I believe my little brother who basically made a documentary, who put the documentary together for me, he put up some type of TSA to give people instructions on how they can reach me directly over the tablets that incarcerated persons at this particular time have access to, right?
Okay.
So it's on the same page as my documentary.
Okay.
So far as I know, after just putting everything together, I apologize. As far as everything I know is that you can go to my page of where my documentary at. You should have the PSA give me instruction on how to reach me directly, because he's more well-versed than I am about the ins and outs of that. And that's how people can reach out to me directly, and I can correspond with them, and we can do things there of how to support and things of that nature.
Okay. I'm going to make sure that I find that and I put that up for you, brother, so you can have it. So
yes,
you got that for
yes,
sure.
Ma'am.
All right. Is there anything?
I also confirm.
Go ahead.
Excuse me, I apologize, sister. I also furnish you with a little brother's number so that he can make sure that he gives the link, he sends the link and things of that nature, and also to confirm that he put up the PSA or the video of instructions on how to reach me directly.
Okay, I'm going to get that from you offline. So I want to give you an opportunity, bro, to, speak to the listeners. You got any gems, anything that you feel like we need to know that you didn't get to discuss, or anything like that? The floor is yours.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm a regular guy, not how high-profile guy, but they said the things that are done to the least man can be done to the greatest. So right now they say the judicial system is supposed to be a fair and equitable system. Only way that it's going to be a fair and equitable system is if the people push the system or push the judicial system to be fair and equitable. Without public scrutiny, the judicial system is just going to do what it's been doing, and things going to stay as they are or according to the status quo, right? So how can we hold people accountable? How can we can hold people accountable by coming together as a collective, man, and making the system be what it says it's supposed to be, which is fair and just, right? So it's not only me, but there's plenty of other guys in my same situation who came from the same time, and we all had the same story that is well documented. So I implore the people to reach out, man, to become active and help bring about a more equitable system.